So the last time that Hayden and I got together to do one of these MCU Phase 4 discussions, it was actually before the Spider-Man split, and now a whole bunch of new information has come out, and it's kind of changed things. We also have new announcements. We're going to get to those here in this series, but I want to start discussing with MCU Phase 4 the next topic, which will be the topic of this video, and that is the Disney Plus television show Loki, starring Tom Hiddleston. He's reprising the character. Who else can play Loki but him, of course? This special is going to be, or this TV show on Disney Plus is going to be following the adventures of Loki. Not the one that was killed by Thanos in Infinity War. He's not coming back. The one that took the cube in an Avengers Endgame and disappeared with it. So that's going to be the story of this Loki Disney Plus show. I think it's a good idea because it doesn't disrespect what happened to him in Infinity War, and it keeps the character around. And from what I understand, the original premise of this show was that he was going to be going throughout different timelines, like different parts of the timeline in the past, and kind of causing mischief. And, you know, like even back in like the Roman era. Yeah. Hayden's here, by the way. Say hello, Hayden.
Yes, hello. Good to be back. We're doing a fresh round of these. A lot of developments.
Yeah, a lot of
game changers.
Yeah. So, I'm excited for the Loki series just because of how awesome he is. Tom is as an actor. I don't think we're going to see Thor in it too much. I can expect some cameos here and there. But before we started recording, you mentioned that there was a released image that came out of him next to a movie theater that had Jaws on it. So this is Loki from 1975.
This is Loki doing some time traveling, which...
Right.
And it's unclear whether he's going to be just time traveling in one timeline or now jumping back and forth between all these different timelines they've established, like the main MCU timeline or the 2014 one, or the 2012 one that he's from. But he's definitely going to be going throughout history. It's a question of what era, though, they're going to choose. So clearly 1975.
That's one of them. At least for
that's
one
of them, yeah. Right. For sure. One episode. It could be one episode per time period. That would be probably a pretty good formula. Another thing that was...
I was going to ask, you do think he's going to be going through different events in world history type thing?
That was...
that was the premise.
I don't know if it was Feige or if it was just like released official copy, but he's going to be influencing key events in history,
right?
You know, as a trickster god, altering them. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of a Forrest Gump effect.
This could be a lot of fun, man. This could be a lot of fun, really.
Yeah. Especially because there was another quote. There's not much info out there about it so far, but there is like a few quotes here and there. A recent Tom Hiddleston interview said he's going to be facing greater foes than he's ever faced before.
Here's the question, though. Is he going to be a hero or a villain? I'm thinking he might be an anti-hero in this one.
Right. If he's like the villain and he's being chased by a different character throughout history and he's like, you know, it could be told from some of their characters' perspective or...
The Watcher.
And they're pursuing, you know, someone like that. Yeah, the Watcher. Be a good introduction for that.
Right.
But he... I'm really curious to see if he'll go to ancient Greece, and this could be a good introduction for Hercules, a character that I think has been missing from the MCU, but it would be a good time for him, I think.
I'm curious if he's going to go back to the ancient Egypt, and we see En Sabanur.
Yes,
I am very curious about that one, brother.
It's like all a question of when. When are they going to start seeding the X-Men in? Because like now... I mean, it'd be good to start early and, you know, slowly build up to that and drop hints now. Like we said, this is like phase 1 all over again, where we're wondering where the fuck they're going with all this stuff. So it's like, it could be the seeds for mutants. It could be setting up.
Well, I feel like in En Sabanur, Apocalypse is, in his case, he's a very different mutant. He's not quite like the regular mutants with the X gene. He's very old. And, you know, I'm not saying they have to do a whole episode where he interacts with Apocalypse. Just having him go back there and having a tease or even having Apocalypse's name said, I think that's already enough. That's already enough right there to get everybody hyped up.
If they're going back that far to ancient Egypt, I mean, they have to, I don't know. En Sabanur would be a good place for that.
Right.
It is a little soon. It's a little close to the X-Men Apocalypse movie still.
Well, they're going to erase that anyways, because let's be real, Apocalypse has origins in ancient Egypt, so why not just go there? Just do it right this time.
Yeah,
And
totally,
this
totally.
and don't have Poe Dameron play him being like, it's funny because that actor is like 5'5", I think, and Apocalypse supposed to be this.
Wow, really? Oscar
He's
Isaac is that short?
Oscar Isaac is not very tall. I can look it up right now, but I know he's not very tall. And Apocalypse is supposed to be this gigantic guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting him
No,
at
I
all.
like him too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He did look a
5'9".
little
He's
small, like
he's
in all that armor in that movie. He did look something was off.
he's
He was
5'9".
probably-
Yeah, I just looked it up, but that's still not as tall as Apocalypse.
No, for sure. No, 5'9" is still. I'm 5'9", and that's definitely on the short end of things for sure.
Right. So what else do you expect from Loki?
So another thing that I'm waiting till he pops up is because this is a time travel affair. Is Kang going to make his presence
Finally,
known?
right?
Finally, since he's messing with the time stream, he's clearly going to be like altering history. So that's a big that's a time crime for sure. We've seen that play out in Dragon Ball Super.
Well, we've seen that.
but-
We've seen that in a bunch of. Well, we've seen it in Time Cop with Van Damme,
Yeah.
even before Super. But yeah, one thing I was thinking about too when it comes to the series is you have to remember this is 2012 Loki, not modern Loki, which means that in the timeline of 2012, the events of Thor Ragnarok and even those of Thor: The Dark World have not happened yet. So this Loki has not had his redemption. We haven't seen the
Right.
storyline where Odin dies. We haven't seen Hela come back. We may not see it because if Loki takes this cube and just vanishes and starts being a mischievous guy throughout history, he's not going to experience those moments that would eventually turn him into being this kind of a
Right.
martyr character. Yeah, so we might
Yeah,
end up seeing Odin
I
back
like
in.
this version of Loki. I'm glad that he's back to being just fully evil because I miss kind of the pre-Ragnarok, pre-Endgame Loki. It's going to be nice to get back to that.
Right. No, it's interesting because of it's gonna be it's not reformed Loki, which kind of sucks because like okay, I agree with you. I'm happy to see this evil Loki come back, but at the same time, I'm also kind of happy that like I'm kind of bummed out that the redemption arc. It really wasn't erased because Thor of the main timeline will remember it, and you never know, they could bring him back at some point. But
No, there's definitely, I agree that there's something to what you're saying for sure. In that, a lot of these 2012 these characters that are coming back from the past, like Gamora and Loki and stuff like that. Now you have to make up so much development that happened to those characters.
And
They're
are
basically
they
back
going
like
to
blank slates?
What if the writers screw up and forget about all that? I have a weird feeling that could happen too. I mean, you never know. What comic book storylines do you think they could incorporate into this Loki Disney Plus TV series? Anything that comes to mind?
It's interesting because I was thinking about that before recording this, thinking like, damn, what are they going to adapt? The main Loki-centric storylines where he is the protagonist or a bit of an anti-hero in it have come fairly recently in terms of the history of comics.
I've noticed that.
And they tend to have him in like a different body. He's like a child in one of them, Journey into Mystery by Kieran Gillen. He's a female when he gets reincarnated after the
Well,
the
we
initial
know that.
Ragnarok event.
Well, we know Disney would love to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
And even without the agenda, it is a way to like keep his character going. So I'm actually wondering if this story will conclude with maybe like him dying and a new Loki being reincarnated, like a new, either he's a kid, which I think is the stronger path because that has a really that becomes Loki wanted to be good natured as a child and fighting his fate to become this like evil, kind of like predisposed for evil character. Has to fight his trickster ways, but then he becomes a teen or like a young adult, and
Right.
there's this storyline called Agent of Asgard, where he is kind of like he's like a spy for Freya, the All-Mother, when she is presiding over Asgard, and that involves a lot of like, it's kind of like a Daniel Craig like sexy spy thing. So I don't really.
That could be fun.
This could have shades of that, This could have like he's hopping around the timeline and he is doing his kind of like suave thing. Actually, Tom Hiddleston was a spy in the BBC miniseries, the Night Manager, which was incredible. So he's done. He can do that kind of like
He's a good
as
actor. no matter
wiry
what.
as he is.
Right.
I know that he can pull off kind of like the dapper, He's obviously a good villain. He's got the British thing going, but He could play the anti-hero protagonist in this. I don't know.
He's a great
go
actor.
both ways.
And I do see Loki series being one that, and we talked about this during the Hawkeye discussion. I don't know if that series is going to go past one season, but I can see the Disney Plus Loki series being 2 or maybe even 3 seasons. I feel like it's possible because when you introduce time travel and a character as versatile as Loki with this multiverse and this god hierarchy in Marvel, I feel like it's really easy to write multiple seasons of storylines for this. This could be Tom Hiddleston's gig here for the next decade or so if it's over.
I would hope that some of these shows can get more than one season out of them. They're using a lot of A-listers for them to fill out the cast, so it's like I could see it being hard to arrange more than one season for a lot of these, but the Loki one just has... I mean, you really only need Tom Hiddleston for that one.
Yeah, and I think
he's
close to being an A-lister. Some would say he already is, but I would say he's close to it. But, you know, if it's only 6 episodes a season at 1 hour long, if it's going to be that, I don't see it being that much of a scheduling problem for him. And plus, it's Disney. I mean, how much more A-list do you get than Disney? This MCU is still it's a television show, yes, but it's still owned by Disney, and thus it makes it bigger than everything else.
Right. They've got their limitless cash, limitless budgets.
Let us know in the comment section your thoughts on the Loki Disney Plus series, any theories you may have on it. Any final thoughts, Hayden, before we close out this discussion?
No, this one's kind of a question mark. Like, I don't really know where it's going to go, but I trust Tom Hiddleston's going to bring the performance, and he's just so charismatic that, his Loki performance is such a fan favorite.
I want to see Anthony Hopkins come back as Odin, even if it's for one cameo. That would make me happy.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see the real power of Odin, bro. Let's see the real power of Odin, bro. Let's see
the Odin Force. Yeah.
Let's see it. I want to see it. It's very, very strong. Thank you again, and we'll talk to y'all in the comments down below.